So today I want to go over what I think is one of the best budget weapons for Arena Breakout Infinite if you want to go into raids and actually fight other players early on. So first, we're just going to go over to the gunsmith, we're going to go over to carbines, and we're going to go to the BM59. So this is a semi-automatic carbine, but the caliber is 7.62 by 5.1. And this is going to be a larger caliber, so it's just generally going to hit a lot harder. You're going to go to start assembling. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take off this backside. We don't actually need that. And if you go to complete assembly just off this base weapon, the price is like 7K, 7 to 8K, right around there. You can even get it under 7K sometimes. So that's for basically the full weapon that actually works. So ridiculously cheap at a base, but then we're going to add a few things on. First off, we're going to add on a silencer. It's going to help with some of the recoil, but the primary thing is you're going to be silenced. That's going to be a very big help. And then we're going to add on what's going to be a bit more expensive. So we're going to add on the top rail. And the thing that's expensive are sights. Because if you go off of the prices in the gunsmith, you're basically half the actual cost. Most of these sights are really expensive right now. I've just been using the 553 holographic sight because it's one of the cheaper sights that's actually usable. That's currently at 41K right now for kind of a base sight. So 70K for the full weapon build. And if you're wanting to use a decent sight, that's pretty much what you're going to have. Even the simple red dot sight is more expensive. You could use something like the PK06 or the EKP. Those are going to be cheaper, but pretty much everything else is going to be more expensive. You could also just try to go with like a scope. These are also still going to be decently expensive. Like going with this long range sight, the rails are cheap, but the sight itself is 64K. So up to 100K if you want to snipe with this, but I've just been using the 553 holographic sight. That's the entirety of the build. So this whole build right here is 57K. This sight's a little bit cheaper. It's going to be a bit more expensive than that. And as you see, the holographic sight is actually sitting around 40K. The build's probably going to be 70, 80K, maybe a little bit cheaper. As you level up, you'll be able to go into your contacts and do some trade-ins to get some cheaper parts for this. But this weapon at a base with the biggest mag you can get, which are 10 rounders, is really cheap. Now, past just buying this, I would probably buy at least 2 more 10 rounders. That's what I've been running with, just 3 total 10 rounders. But that brings us to ammo, because even though the weapon build is super cheap, how expensive is ammo going to be? And ammo is going to be a bit expensive because you pretty much only have 2 options when running a weapon like this. You're going to have the UN rounds, which are like 124 right now. These only pierce level 1. I would not recommend using these bullets. It's not even really worth bringing these bullets in with any weapon that's going to be modded. So that pretty much leaves you with BPZ, which is currently at 376 a round. Now it's a bit expensive, but this is a semi-automatic weapon with 300 RPM. You're not going to be spraying out bullets, and you're using a higher caliber round, so you don't need to use as many rounds to kill somebody. And this has level 3 pierce, good base damage, still that high caliber round that is pretty accurate. So again, you could snipe with this, you can use it at longer ranges, decent pen, decent armor damage. So overall, I would definitely be using BPZ. It's like 45,000 for 120 rounds, and you don't even really need 120 rounds for a full run. I've been going in with around 80 rounds. I haven't ran out in any of the runs I've done, even fighting multiple groups of other players. So you really don't need more than like 80 rounds, and 80 rounds is around 30K. So if the weapon's sitting at say around 70K, 80 rounds is around 30K. The entire build of this weapon with all the mags, all the ammo is like 100 to 110K. And I don't think you're going to get much better than this as an early game budget weapon. This is going to allow you to do these more cheap runs, but still have a weapon that can fight players, can still penetrate through higher tiers of armor, or at least tier 3. And this is going to just allow you to make a lot of money in those raids pretty easily. But that's all I want to go over. So thanks for watching.